Hello everybody and welcome to part 1 of my complete guide for beginners to League of Legends. The gameplay in the background is just me playing as Janna, doing what supports do, saving lives, setting up kills, being a boss that nobody appreciates. But for the first video, I'm going to be talking about common League of Legends terminology. I figure this is going to be something that people need to know straight off the bat, because you go into a game and people will be abbreviating things, they'll be saying things and you're like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. So I want to make sure that you guys know the terminology. Also because going into the other videos of the guide for League of Legends, I am going to be using the terminology. So I thought it was kind of important that you guys knew the terminology first before we get started. So let's go ahead and get into the first term that I want to talk about, and that is ADC, also known as AD carry. Now what this stands for is the attack damage on your team. So this is the person that deals physical damage. They do not deal magic damage, they do physical damage. That is what an AD carry is. Next, we have AP, which stands for ability power. Now, they are the exact opposite of the AD carry. They deal magic damage. So they don't do physical damage. They are concentrating on deal magic damage to people. Next up is minion or minions. A lot of you could probably guess what these are, but I want to make sure we cover absolutely everything. I don't want anyone to be confused. So what minions are the little things that push up the 3 lanes. You can see them as little red dots or little blue dots on the map. If you look at the map, you can see them there, and you'll also see them running around. Some of them have little hats on, and basically they just push up the lane and you kill them to get money and experience. That's what minions are. Next up, we have OOM, which stands for out of mana. If you don't know what mana is, if you look at the screen, you will see a green bar and a blue bar. The green bar is your current health and your health. It's your health bar, and the blue bar is your mana bar. And basically what mana allows you to do is to use your skills. Each of your skills will cost a certain amount of mana. So when someone says OOM or out of mana, basically they're just letting you know that they don't have the required amount of mana to use all of their skills right now. Next up is to gank or ganking, and basically what a gank is it's more than one person, so it can be 2, 3, 4, or 5 people going to someone else who is completely unexpecting you, they're completely defensive, and you jump on them, surprise them, and kill them. That's what a gank is. You're going to surprise them, and then you kill them, you outnumber them, and they're defenseless. So basically it's securing a kill for your team by sneaking up on them and murdering them. Next up, we have push or pushing lanes, and basically what that is what you can see right now. You push the lane, it's pretty self-explanatory actually. You just push the lane, kill the enemy minions in hopes of taking the enemy's tower. So that's what pushing a lane is. Pretty self-explanatory really. You just get your minions and your people to go up the lane in hopes of taking the enemy's tower. Next up, we have the tank. Now what a tank is it's someone who just builds to be purely defensive. They can take a lot of damage and not die. So if anybody ever asks you or says, can you build tanky, it means to buy items and to use runes and masteries that make your character very, very, very tanky, so that you don't take a lot of damage when people are hitting you. I'll explain runes and masteries in another video, but let's just stick to terms and terminology for right now. Next, we have tanking the tower. Now, I'll explain the whole process of taking towers really quickly. Usually, what you want to do is let minions go first when you're approaching a tower, because what the tower will do is it will attack whichever thing comes close to it first. So if you go first, the tower will attack you and do damage to you, and it does a lot of damage. So you don't usually want to do that. Usually what you want to do is let the minions go first and then you start attacking the tower. But in certain situations, you actually want to have one of your teammates, usually the tank, take the damage from the tower. Situations where you'd want to do this are, say if you kill the entire enemy team and they're on like a 30-second respawn timer, you will want one of your teammates to take the damage from the tower instead of waiting for the minions to get there, so you can take this opportunity of no one being there to kill you and just get their tower down really quickly. quickly. So that's what that means. If anyone says tank the tower, push tower, tank tower now, it basically means that they're telling you to take the damage from the tower so we can get it down quickly before they come and kick our asses. Next up we have dive, or diving the tower, dive tower, and basically this is very, very similar to tanking the tower, but instead of taking damage from the tower to take the tower down, lots of tower words in there, you're doing it to kill somebody. So usually what you'd want to do is catch somebody when they're nowhere near their tower to kill them, but in certain situations you have an enemy player standing there right under their tower and you will jump on top of them, taking tower damage and all, just to get that kill. So if anyone ever says to you, dive tower, it means that they are wanting you to hop on the enemy player under their tower with them so that you can secure the kill. Next up we have CC, which is a common term that has been used in MMOs and various different games throughout the years, but for anyone that doesn't know, it stands for crowd control. And what crowd control is it is any skill that slows you, stuns you, knocks you up, makes you unable to attack, unable to move. Anything that stops your character from being able to do something is known as crowd control. It's a very, very common term, so that's one that you definitely want to know. CC equals crowd control. Next, we have red buff and blue buff, sometimes just referred to as red and blue. And what these are they are buffs that are held by monsters in the jungle. Don't worry if you don't know what the jungle is. I will have a complete video purely explaining the jungle and everything about it. But basically, it's the part of the map that's not a lane. A part of the map where the monsters, the minions, do not travel down. That's what the jungle is. And there are monsters in there that hold buffs. Now, what red buff does, you kill the monster, you get the buff, and every time you hit an enemy champion, it slows them down, and it also does some damage over time. What the blue buff does is it makes your mana regenerate faster, and it also gives you a 20% cooldown reduction. What cooldown reduction is it's something that makes your skills recharge faster, so you can press your skills more often. That's what cooldown reduction is. Next up, we have leash or leashing. Now what this is when you have a jungler on your team. A jungler is someone who is responsible for killing the monsters in the jungle, by the way. When you have one of those on your team, they need a little bit of help clearing the first few monsters in the jungle. So basically that's what a leash is. They're asking for a little bit of help hitting the monsters in the jungle. But one really important thing that I will add, when you are leashing for someone, when you're helping them kill those first few monsters, do not get the last hit. Never get the last hit. Let the jungler get the last hit. That's very, very important. Next up, we have farm or farming, and this is something that is also used in MMOs. Basically, this is when you just kill minions to get money. You need money to buy items. Again, I will have a completely separate video talking about buying items and stuff like that, but it's just killing minions to get money, pretty much. Next up, we have feeding or fed. Now, what it means when someone will say, oh my god, stop feeding, it means to stop giving the enemy players kills, because when you give them kills, just freely giving out kills like candy, it gives them money, which enables them to get items much faster than your team, which puts them ahead of your team. So that's what feeding is. It's basically just dying over and over and over again when you shouldn't be. And when someone is fed, it means that they have a lot of minion kills, they have a lot of money, they have a lot of kills. Basically, they get mad money from various different places. That's what being fed is. Next, we have MIA, which stands for missing in action, and it's something that someone will say when they are in their lane and the enemy player that's supposed to be in the lane against them is not there. And the reason that you call MIA is to let your team know that this person is roaming around the map. They could be anywhere, so be careful because they might be trying to gank you. Now, the very last things that I want to talk about is last hitting and CS. What last hitting is and why it's so important is when you get the last hit on an enemy minion, because when you're standing there just hitting minions, you don't want to just hit them because you don't get money for it. The only time that you get money is when you get the last hit on a minion. So what you want to make sure that you do is wait for the enemy minion's health to get really low and then hit them, so you get the last hit and you get the money from that minion. Now what CS means, it's short for creep score, and basically all it means is how many minions you have last hit. That's what creep score means. So I think that is pretty much it. I know it's a really long video for terminology, but I'm really trying to cover everything for complete beginners and people that are completely new to League of Legends, completely new to games of this genre. So I really hope that you found it useful. I will leave a link in the description to a League of Legends forum post, which has a complete list of terms that I haven't even discussed here, because there are some more. I just thought that these were the main ones. So if you ever want to kind of brush up and research some terminology for League of Legends, go ahead and click that link. You can read through it and it tells you absolutely every term that you could possibly want to know. So I hope you found this helpful, guys. I really do. I will have the next video of League of Legends lessons for beginners up pretty soon, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.